On principle, I think I would. It is not a question that comes up very often. We have effectively done it recently, legalized marijuana, by legalizing medicinal marijuana. As we've seen in other states, it tends to become recreational because there are lots of reasons to declare that you probably need it for some medical reason. That said, there's a long argument about personal responsibility, about whether you should do it now, whether it should be taxed, whether it should be regulated. I think such a thing should be done carefully. Alcohol certainly has a lot of problems, and we have some regulations having to do with drunk driving and so forth. I think it's something that should be done thoughtfully, but in principle, yes, I would lean toward legalizing.
If I remember right, the first question was, would you change the law? Don, you said yes to that?
Lean,
yes. I'd say no. And with respect to recreational marijuana, I'd also say no. The law that was adopted in Minnesota took a long time to get crafted, and at the end of the day, it was actually the Minnesota Police and the Police and Peace Officers Association that begrudgingly abided by that. For that very reason, Don said these sorts of things can end up being used recreationally. The reason that police officers bought into it at the end of the day is because what we did in Minnesota is not smoking it. It's the liquid form and oil form, so that it can't be used as easily recreationally. And frankly, I think it's too soon to talk about recreational use of marijuana. There's a lot of folks that talk about that being a gateway to more serious drugs and being a gateway to crime, and I think that's wrong. I think we ought to see what happens in places like Colorado and Washington, and they've just started doing that, and it's too soon to tell whether or not we've seen wholesale changes in their criminal activity, whether we've seen it as a gateway drug to other drugs, and I just think it's wrong to adopt that at this stage without more understanding what the impact would be. You got 30.
I got 30. I want to use the 30 seconds to go back to the previous question. The one of, what if somebody dies?
Good.
We do this all the time. People sell ladders, shoes, bathtubs, all sorts of things that, screwdrivers, knives. People can die from these things, but we don't take every last product and send it to the legislature and say, will you let us sell this, please? That's not how it works.